Hi, I'm Teresa Moon. You know that's the first thing we look for in a leader? If you apply to a leadership role, one of the first questions we're asking is she coachable? Is he coachable? Because we can take a willing person and make them capable, but we can't take a capable person and make them willing.
Dr. Teresa Moon started training students in communications in 1997. Since then, she has gone on to create the Institute for Cultural Communicators, a global community empowering next-generation Christians to influence today's culture.
I embarked on a whole new season of life and some amazing, amazing stories. One of the things that happened over the next several years is men would come to me, at conferences, and it was me and teenagers. That is the organization. The whole organization was me and some teenagers, and it was the Moon's organization. That was it. So we would go, we'd pull into town, and we'd set up shop, and we'd do 4-day conferences, which is an eternity, just so you know. These conferences were 4 days every weekend in a new state somewhere in the country every week. So we did 4 days, 2 of speech and 2 of debate, or 2 of debate and 2 of speech. It was sort of like a biblical argument about which you should do first. So we did those for a few years, and men would come to me. I would do a little parent talk once a day, and the rest of the time the parents just followed the kids around because we didn't know that we needed to tell you anything. So you could just go see what your kids did. And so the men would come and they would say, you should tell my wife we need to get a motorhome. And then later their wives would come to me and say, please tell my husband we don't want a motorhome.
Dr. Moon had a vision for our world. She saw a need to build an intergenerational community founded on a culture of intentionality. So many people are going through their lives without any real purpose. They live day by day with great ideas, but the inability to convey them to their community.
I co-founded the NCFCA, National Christian Forensics and Communications Association, in the year 2000. And the reason that I'm sharing this with you is because the first thing that mattered to me was that kids who were practicing skills like debate would learn to communicate their own ideas and connect with audiences themselves. That the world wasn't going to function like the academic exercise that we called debate. And I really, really wanted people to get some real world skill for this time. So for me, it never was about an academic sport. It always was about what could we do that was real world and that really helped real people connect with real people. I didn't quite know how to articulate it the way we do in the Institute today, but I just had, that kind of gut that there's got to be something more that can happen here if we're pouring this kind of investment into the next generation.
We have a need. Young children are often looked down on, and their ideas are quickly discarded. This is because children may speak up, but without the proper skills to articulate their ideas, they are brushed off as being too immature or irresponsible to be of any worth. Children are considered to be disrespectful or too involved in their own online world. How can we possibly bridge the generational gap? One of the unique ways that ICC has found to effectively train students is by placing them in leadership positions from a young age. As the students practice their public speaking skills, they have the opportunity to advance up the leadership ladder and mentor their peers. Some of these positions include becoming a student evaluator at local tournaments and teaching lessons as a student leader in a local chapter. The majority of ICC, both on the ground and in their online academy, is student-led. When Dr. Moon first broke off from the NCFCA to begin the Communicators for Christ organization, she ran into several obstacles. Dr. Moon had to seek support from a network of past acquaintances to make it through. If you ask Dr. Moon today, she gives credit to her team of board members who helped her keep pushing forward and overcoming each big, hairy, audacious goal until they saw it to completion.
Imperfect human beings imperfectly attempting to empower still more imperfect human beings. That's how it feels most of the time. And I think that's actually one of the more accurate ways we describe what we do.
When Dr. Moon first decided to start her exhibitions around the United States, she gathered together a group of exceptional young adults to be her student interns at conferences. They led different aged tracks and labs, coached the parents, planned out intergenerational activities and warm-ups, and introduced a whole new perspective to public speaking. 21 years later, there is now a fall and spring intern team, and opportunities for them to grow in leadership skills outside of strictly teaching classes. In the spring of 2018, I was accepted to be on one of those intern teams, and I had the opportunity to assist Dr. Moon personally with different projects. Dr. Moon started this organization, and with the help of her colleagues, students, interns, and alumni since, ICC has had a great impact on the world. 1 Timothy 4:12 says, "Don't let anyone look down on you because you are young, but set an example for the believers in speech, conduct, love, faith, and purity." ICC strives to plant that verse in young speakers' minds. I have been attending Cedarville University since the fall of 2017. This past semester, I had the opportunity to take an advocacy communication course. We were given the task of finding an organization where we could commit 30 hours of volunteer service. Having been in ICC for the past 9 years, I knew immediately what I wanted to choose. As an alumna, I got together with Eunice Au and Mary Gunther, who would both serve as my supervisors for this task. In Chapter 9 of our advocacy book by John A. Daly, I learned the importance of proper timing. I believe that ICC was only successful because Dr. Moon found the right time and place to start advocating for her idea. I also believe that God gave me this opportunity because He knew the right timing for me to get re-involved with ICC. I was also able to use information from Chapter 8's lesson on networking in this volunteer position. I was able to get advice from my wise guides, side guides, and surprise guides as I determined how I could be most influential. Mrs. Au, despite leading a busy life of her own, helped me understand the benefits of ICC's online academy. We decided that the best way to take advantage of my hectic college life and communication experience would be to lead a cohort for students going through the third portfolio of the Young Speakers Guild curriculum. For 7 weeks, I worked hard to create brand new agendas and assignments and upload them onto Schoology.com. I had 6 amazing students in my cohort who not only put up with my random bunny trails, but also supported one another and helped make the entire experience worthwhile for all of us. Although the end goal was hazy and there were many stumbling blocks, I can proudly say that each student worked extremely hard to write speeches, present them in the community, and move closer to becoming a Guild inductee. Dr. Moon once said, "If you can communicate your ideas and I cannot, eventually I will believe that you are right."
Finally, we were a few years in, and I was still working with both organizations, Communicators for Christ, because at the time that was the name of the organization, and the NCFCA. And as I was working with both organizations, I went into a competition room one day, and I had a parent say to me, I got it. I just wish I didn't get it before my son graduated from high school, but I finally got it. The whole point of this is to communicate out there. And I thought, how sad that it took so long to get it. And I recommitted myself to doing a better job of helping parents and teachers and people who invest in the next generation get that message.